Oh, this has been a long time coming. We're getting into the news today, and one, not necessarily a reason we skipped Audioface last week doing a live one, but like we look at the schedule, we go, okay, is there much happening here?
Mhm.
Yes, no, not really. Um, One thing that came out last week was 6ix9ine's Tattletales, the first album that came out after 6ix9ine's whole Rap Snitch Knishes episode.
Mhm.
And, you know, it had this lead single with Nicki Minaj. He was making all this sort of like attention on social media, hyping everybody up, trolling, making this whole idea of like, I'm back, you're mad, haha. The 6ix9ine's usual bit
Yeah.
he's been doing for a while. And
Turns out the album is one of the worst things ever made.
universally hated. Like
Universally hated.
one of my favorite things. So
Even his fans hate it.
let's start with the album rollout and just like get into it more properly. Usually you have your record label will work to
Like promote the album, do different things and stuff.
yeah, and that usually involves a media tour. So he
Mhm.
went to the New York Times and they gave
Give
this
it
like
an op-ed on him.
yeah, it's a feature article, and the issue with the New York Times is that all of the generally very sheltered from the upper echelons of like they're Ivy League out of touch dipshits with culture, right? So I'm sure they have one person or like that person has a dope friend at the New York Times. You can describe sort of the whole details about Tekashi 6ix9ine. But nevertheless, they had one of their really bland reporters just sort of like go into it and give him like the full piece. It's like a full New York Times spread. You'll notice that a lot of outlets are just like not dealing with Tekashi 6ix9ine anymore because he's a clown. They know that he just like grabs and for attention. He's a troublemaker. Not helpfully so for those outlets. So he's not getting a lot of media attention for that, which is fair because no one likes a snitch. Nevertheless, we on Audioface have always said, look, he's gonna come back, and I'll be specific. Sean has always said that Tekashi 6ix9ine is always going to come back. He's going to try his career again, and a lot of people will fall for it because they fall for the whole like shock jock kind of thing. But his music's terrible, and I think Sean was a little optimistic that people will start to realize that. Lo and behold, America listens to Audioface.
Fucking shit.
And,
Yeah. I just love this quote from the New York Times article when he got interviewed. He said, "How would you feel if I go out there on a ledge and jump off that building and kill myself?" He said, "That's what society wants me to do." He said, "I plan to just keep dominating." Well, you're not fucking dominating anymore there, bud.
Yeah, there are a couple landmines in that New York Times article, so I just wanted to kind of mention it just to say that there are a lot of different ways the media can
I'm
cover.
skipping around the landmines right now.
There are a couple different ways that like the music media and the music industry has kind of covered these things. And once again, I'll say we're doing this podcast the right way because we're like, this is a sideshow. We're not going to report on
and
it,
it's
cover
also
it.
his music is garbage, and there's so much more good stuff out there that we're going to pay attention to.
Same with Kanye. And so I do want to like do a little bit of schadenfreude of this one.
Stop making stupid people famous.
The Source, one of those like music rags that like types articles for every little thing that happens. They literally printed basically what must have been a press release from 6ix9ine's label. This is dated September 7th, which said that 6ix9ine's project Tattletales is projected to be #1 on the charts, beating Big Sean's Detroit 2, another album that's like we didn't review yet. But yeah, that is straight. Like if you are used to reading news, whenever you read an article that's just like, oh, this information is too good to be true for someone who's really struggling right now. That's a press release. That is someone who is, for whatever reason, had an article quota and needed to write the cheapest article possible to get some words on a page, on an article, on a website somewhere. But the idea that Tattletales was projected to bring in 150,000 units in its first week is really hilarious because the final results were 55,000. He sold 55,000. He debuted at about number 5 or 6 on the chart.
You need 600 to pass. You got 6.
And it's really rough in the streets right now. Lil Durk, all these the baby, all these different rappers are just like trashing on him, laughing at him. 6ix9ine's in full damage control mode, saying, "No, I'm not being blackballed. Look at all these celebrities who are, or look at all these artists who sold worse than me in their first week than I did. Look what," and like the artist comparisons he's making. I don't know if you have that up, but it's like
it is Lil Durk, Lil TJ, and Trippie Redd.
Yeah, it's like, okay, congratulations.
You're
I'm sure
better than
Durk,
Lil TJ. Woohoo!
Congratulations, you're better than Trippie Redd and Lil Durk. And it's like not necessarily that you're better, because Trippie Redd, as annoying as he is of this 3 cohort that we're picking,
way better than 6ix9ine.
Definitely has more of an artistic
much,
tie-in.
But
yeah, like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, but like 6ix9ine, this is almost more to say that a lot of 6ix9ine's attention, his boost, he's no better than any of these artists. So like on merits alone, he shouldn't be streaming anymore. The fact that he's streaming more, and again, we're talking minuscule numbers, 29,000 units that he's bragging about in this image here, is because he's a troll. He gets social media attention, and that's how he builds his music brand. That's how he gets listeners, because people are looking at the shock factor, not necessarily liking the music. Now that everyone's like, okay, you're a trashy person, we don't mention this enough, but underage sexual abuse, he was charged with that pretty credibly, and you're a snitch, like, no one likes you. Nicki Minaj must feel like such a crank right now. Like, you played yourself for this goon. I hope you got a lot of money, yo, but like, this is one of the more satisfying falls from grace.
It's hilarious. It's just like you just fall face first and break your nose and 3 teeth.
Now 6ix9ine was seen violating witness protection on the streets of Los Angeles, passing out his album like it's a mixtape in the drive-thru at Burger King, going, "Yo, check out my shit, dog. Yo, check out my shit. Follow me on MySpace, please. Like, here's some CDs."
He actually was legitimately passing out, doing the thugnificent of like passing out CDs. Like, please, God, listen to this.
It's the old, his quote was, "I'ma force you to listen to this album since you don't want to buy it." Which, never mind the former, or like, accused, underage sexual abuser saying, I'm gonna force you to do this if you like it or not. That's a little fun thing there. But he's even admitting that, like, no one wants to buy his piece of trash album.
No.
Sucks for his record label, who, like, while he was in jail, signed a contract to distribute his next 2 or 3 projects, right?
Rip.
So they just... That's what we call a sunk cost. So yeah, fuck that guy, fuck 6ix9ine. Hopefully that's the last we ever have to talk about him, but it's a nice complete story too. Hey, look at this dipshit everyone thinks is really cool and plays good music, but we know smarter and we know is actually terrible. Hey, look at him getting harangued in the media. Hey, look at him trying to make a comeback. Look at that.
I hope he has to sell all of his 6ix9ine jewelry next. And he has to get his tattoos removed and get a day job.
Yeah, I would love to see 6ix9ine as like the FedEx employee. Just like, "Sarah, can you please deliver?" You're 6ix9ine. No, I'm not. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, you're 6ix9ine. You got the faded head tattoo. Ha ha. And then he hangs himself. Anyways,